Libra, this month is going to get a little bit better for you. Your ruler, Venus, in your sign. 10 out of 10. Love that for you. You're going to be feeling more abundant, more attractive, more in your element. Now, you may be dealing with some budgeting issues. There may be some negative spending habits or bad food habits, maybe that you kind of need to curb or that you need to kick. Nonetheless, this is about really getting your to-do list out, doing what it is that you need to do to become the best version of yourself. There's some dead weight that you're still hanging on, and I feel like it's time for you to cut it off. I think that there's someone in your life who has either made you crazy or has brought the crazy out in you. It is now time to remember who you are, to level yourself, and to get it together. So, Libra, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and take a look at your reading. But first, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Violetta Alexis, and I've been a tarot reader for 5 years. If you're not new here, obviously, welcome back, and I am happy to have you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Show me. Empress reverse wanted to pop out. Well, that's one of your major arcanas. So some of you guys may be having some low self-esteem, or maybe that's something that you were dealing with for a while. I do feel like a lot of you guys are coming out of that. Show me Libra from mid-October 2025. The energy that you may be in, we have the Sun reversed. Your challenge, the Ten of Swords. Could be dealing with some kind of ending or betrayal. Recent past, the Ten of Cups. Happy-go-lucky, happy relationship, or happy family life. Near future, the Two of Pentacles. I feel like you guys have a pretty important decision to make here in the near future. Things may feel a bit chaotic. We have the Queen of Pentacles reversed for what's going on in your mind. So maybe there's something in regards to security that you're needing to deal with. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles reversed for what's going on in your subconscious. There could be a fear of missing out on an opportunity, or you feeling like you missed out on something, or you will miss out on something. Then we have for your advice is the Death reversed. There may be a change that you're needing to implement. The King of Pentacles for somebody that you could be dealing with. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The Six of Swords reversed for hopes and or fears. And then we have the Knight of Cups, and that's going to be for the outcome. The Nine of Pentacles reversed is at the bottom of the deck, so there can be an energy of needing to focus on your finances. I feel like a lot of you guys are having some issues in that regard, maybe, or you've been dealing with that. I'm almost getting like this energy of needing to clean up your finances in some ways. If you guys have been dealing with some issues, maybe you spent a little bit too much in the first half of October or whatever it may be, or maybe it's self-esteem issues as well. I could certainly see that, especially with the Sun reversed, the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So maybe that's what it is as well. But let's go ahead and just dig right in. So we're going to take a look at that Sun reversed. Tell me about that Sun reversed for Libras. The Knight of Wands reversed. Yikes. Well, I feel like if you guys aren't feeling super confident in regards to a situation, it's not because you shouldn't necessarily feel confident about your talents, gifts, skills, or abilities, but you need some direction. You likely need some direction, more information. There can be this energy of maybe you guys needing to prioritize things differently, or you're needing to write a freaking to-do list. You know, it can be something that simple. I think that with the Sun reversed, you're not feeling super optimistic, but it's because of that Knight of Wands reversed. So if you guys aren't feeling optimistic about a creative endeavor or something that you're trying to pursue, try to figure out the direction that you're trying to go. And sometimes that does mean doing silly things like making to-do lists and all of these kinds of things. So I feel like you guys are needing some direction. I really want you guys to be careful in the way that you seek out validation in the middle of this month. You guys can find yourself doing things that are not necessarily becoming of you. What could that mean? That could mean creating drama in order to get some kind of attention or validation from another. And sometimes we can do this subconsciously. Sometimes we don't actually think, oh, I'm going to create a dramatic scene and make this moment about me so that way, you know, the attention can be on me. Sometimes this comes from a subconscious place. So for instance, let's say that your parents didn't give you love freely, right? So sometimes when you were little, you had to create, you know, a little bit of drama or throw a fit in order to get that kind of love in return. So it can be something that's from your subconscious. We have the Chariot here. So it's not for nothing. It shows me that you have a little bit of fear around something that you're wanting to do creatively or in regards to your own sense of optimism or self-esteem, but you seem to be pushing through that fear and having some kind of victory nonetheless. So I feel like that's really positive. Yeah, I feel like you guys, maybe I kind of getting this energy of you guys lost your shit a little bit. I feel like you guys lost a little bit because you may have idealized a person, or there could be somebody who really brought out your jealousy issues or something like that. That can be something that kind of comes to the forefront here. We do have a lot of energy in Scorpio right now, so that can certainly be it. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at that Ten of Swords for your challenge. Tell me about that 10 of Swords for Libra's challenge. The Two of Pentacles reversed. We see this in the future. So something that's a challenge now in the middle of October, you are going to get a handle on. And this could be around budgeting or your finances. Let's see something else. Oh, we got a flipper. Oh, no, I don't need that many. Well, okay, I guess I'm going to just take it. Then we have the Empress and the Two of Cups reversed. So, stop second guessing yourself. I really think that sometimes when the Two of Pentacles reverse likes to show up, it's because we feel like we're confused about something. You're not confused. You're just ignoring the information that your intuition is trying to tell you. You likely know that something is not right for you. You likely know that it's just not working out and you're not sold on it. And so I think that instead of trying to force something or instead of trying to be understood or whatever, you need to remember who the fuck you are. And I think that you need to stop trying to chase down something that is not going to chase you back, or that's not going to answer the door when you knock on it. Or if they do, it's not like they have a super happy face when they open the door to see yours, and of course, this is all a metaphor. Apply it as you may. But I think a lot of you guys need to start taking better care of yourselves. Okay. And I think that you will, especially with Venus and Libra. Thank God Venus moves into Libra October 13th. So if you're seeing this beforehand, don't worry. If you're seeing this after October 13th, great. Venus is in Libra, your ruler or whatever placement you have Libra in. So I feel like the best is yet to come, I guess you could say. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at this past position with that 10 of Cups. Tell me about that 10 of Cups. Like, you don't see, this is the thing, is I'm getting like this, speaking of intuition, this right here, like you trying so hard to get some level of recognition or attention, when if you just remembered who you were, like you would have never felt like you had to do that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you guys need to grab yourself by the balls or your big girl panties or whatever it is you got to do and like get it together. Easier said than done, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. 10 of Cups, High Priestess reversed. Okay. The Moon reversed. Ooh. What is, oh, 3 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Hierophant reversed. Well, I'm almost getting like this energy of you broke your own heart. Not to say that something is 100% your fault, but I think that sometimes we can do this thing where we align with partnerships or friendships or whatever it may be, that really don't align with who we are on a fundamental level, right? Maybe you're a Democrat and somebody is a Republican, and we all know how that goes. I've seen people get divorced over that crap or whatever it is, right? There's something fundamental, foundational that did not align, and I think that you just tried to maybe make it fit, make it work, and you end up getting your heart broke, or you had to break some hearts or whatever it is. I definitely think that there were some subconscious fears that came up in a relationship and or a family dynamic that didn't feel good. It could have been secrets, it could have been projections, but there is something that you released yourself from, whether this is like you putting too much of putting too much of an emphasis on what your family thinks about what it is that you desire, that you want, or putting too much of an emphasis on what men think of you or women think of you or whatever it may be, which could have influenced you in some kind of way that you didn't really feel like fit you, I guess you could say. For others of you, it's quite literally the opposite. It can be that you had a hard time trusting your intuition when it came to a situation, and there could have been a lot of family support or relational support that was trying to help you move on from something or release some kind of emotional issues. Let's go ahead and look at that near future here with that 2 of Pentacles. So you can say that this is probably late October, early November, maybe. Tell me about that 2 of Pentacles. The 3 of Swords. Wow. Okay. And then the Knight of Cups reversed. Yikes. 8 of Cups, Justice reversed. Woo! There's a decision that you're needing to make, which is essentially in your challenge. We saw that 2 of Pentacles reverse for what's in your challenge, needing to remember who you are. If somebody is just, committed to misunderstanding you, or you just know it's not going to work, it's time to kind of like nut up or shut up and be very honest with yourself about that. Because there may be something that's really not reciprocal here. And you can be maybe projecting an ideal or a dream onto another, or maybe someone is doing that with you. I think that, I'm not gonna lie, Libra, there may be a little bit of a heartbreaking situation here at the forefront or here in the near future, but you do have a new moon in your sign coming on the 21st. You will be feeling that into early October, and so this is going to be a brand new beginning for you and for what you deserve and who you are without someone, or who you are in a relationship, who you are outside of relationships. And so it may feel a little bit chaotic, but please trust and believe that this is trying to teach a level of independence. Okay. So Let's go ahead and take a look at that Queen of Pentacles reverse for what's on your mind. Tell me about that Queen of Pentacles reversed. Why is the Queen of Pentacles reversed in Libra's mind? The Nine of Cups. Yeah, so it's about what do you want, you know? I want you to be cautious. You may be being really hard on yourself. There's that Eight of Cups and that Justice reversed again. You may be being kind of hard on yourself about, I don't know, maybe it's your physical appearance. Maybe it's that you feel like you didn't work hard enough in order to get what it is that you want. But what you want is on your mind. I just want to make sure that you're not cutting yourself off at the knees because of your own internal dialogue and the way that you treat yourself. So if we really want something, and like if I'm like, okay, I want to go and get my dream body, but in my mind I'm like, fuck that, you're fat as shit, you know, everyone's going to be judging you or whatever. Like I'm never going to be able to get what I want if I'm too focused on that or I'm being too mean to myself. So there's something that what is that death reversed? The Nine of Wands. There's something that you're still fighting for, it feels like, even in your mind. And it feels like you are still holding on to some kind of ghost that doesn't have a place in your life anymore. You're still holding on to the dead things when you have so much to live for. That's what I'm getting with that. Okay. So just some changes that need to be made. Not a big deal, you know. So let's see what's going on in your subconscious with that Ace of Pentacles reverse. Tell me about that Ace of Pentacles reverse. Seven of Pentacles. Okay. The King of Swords. Two Ace of Pentacles reverse at the bottom of the deck. Interesting. So, I mean, the Ace of Pentacles reverse, the Seven of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. I mean, to me, I think that it's really about you knowing what is not working for you anymore and what is. And there's this logical piece of the pie. There's this logical part of you that already knows. You already know. And I feel like I was getting that earlier, where you knew something wasn't working. It was not for you. You knew that. And you do know that, but you keep holding on to it. I don't know. Maybe you have Venus and Scorpio. Maybe you have some fixed placements that, you know, I feel like fixed placements really are like that more than anybody, honestly. So maybe you got some fixed placements somewhere. But I feel like where you're putting energy into, what you're investing in on a day-to-day basis, even really ask yourself if something is paying off. Yeah, you let it go. I was like, okay, what's the guidance for this? I got the Ten of Swords reverse. You got to let it go. There's a chance for you to evolve, but unfortunately, sometimes that means you got to let go of other things first. Okay, and sometimes that just means like not trying to force something so much. So then we have the Death reversed for your advice. The Ace of Wands. Yeah, see that Death reverse. The advice is about what's going on in your mind, and I told you to be cautious of your own internal critic. Because you probably don't realize, but the way that you talk about yourself, interesting. We have Nine of Pentacles reverse for the kind of the theme. I feel like some love has made you crazy. Like I really feel like some relationship has made you crazy. Love has made you a little crazy, or maybe it just brought out some internal wounds or some inner insecurities that really just needed to come to the surface so you can address them. So that way you can eventually have a healthy relationship with yourself. Okay, it doesn't always have to be about a man or a woman or whatever, right? um Again, the Death reverse is saying that a change needs to occur here, and I think a lot of it is about what's going on in your mind, because the Death reversed is in your mind and you are still fighting for ghosts. This is like you are, you know, somebody died in your house and you are still dressing them up for dinner and putting them at the table and feeding them, and you look crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And we've all done that. I have done that, baby. I got a lot of fixed energy, okay? Like a lot. So I have done that. But you'll find that once you drop that dead weight, that is when you are going to become the most motivated. That's when you are going to become more independent. You're not going to need to fake the funk anymore. You're not going to feel like you have to overcompensate. It's true comfortability in yourself and who you are, what you look like, needing to enjoy your life a little bit more. I mean, God, if I'm going to be honest with you, it feels like some of you have made things a little bit harder on yourself because of the way that you think and because you forgot who you are. What is that Death reverse about? It's about a missed opportunity. Like you didn't cash out. You know what I'm saying? You didn't cash out on something, you know? But try to change your thinking. They didn't cash out on you, or it didn't cash out on you. Like If like somebody fired you, right? I'm not like, that's obviously a terrible thing, but if somebody fired you, for instance, if there are really some things that you are needing to change about yourself, so that way you don't get fired again, or so that way you have healthy relationships, like by all means, you know what I'm saying? That's when you'll be able to be more motivated, and you'll be able to treat yourself better because you know that you deserve better because you're acting within that level of consciousness. Okay. For others of you, if you have truly gave it all you got and you did the best that you can, oh well, like you did the best that you could. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and take a look at that King of Pentacles for somebody that you may be dealing with in mid-October. Can you please tell me about that King of Pentacles for who Libra may be dealing with this October? Okay, I heard for some of you, you are attracting a supporter. Three of Cups, this is really great. There could be a reconciliation here for some of you. Eight of Wands, this just feels like friendship, a lot of support. This could be business alliances, things like that. There's definitely a strong masculine energy here. And this is Taurus, technically, that King of Pentacles. And Taurus is incredibly generous. Like people are like, oh, you want to get yourself a sugar daddy, get yourself a Capricorn. No, Capricorn is going to make you work for it. Okay. Taurus is just going to give it, is just going to give it all away, Venus, baby, you know what I'm saying? So while I'm not saying that this person is a Taurus, you have that kind of masculine, Venusian, Taurian influence that is coming in your life. They seem to be supporting you, maybe supporting your education. This could be somebody that is at a distance from you. You may be coming together with this individual. What is the purpose of this person? Libra's life. They're here to help you with some kind of work or some kind of project, or trying to support you to help you feel better about what it is that you're creating or what it is that you're working on. They're also here to help you not to care so much about what other people think about you. Okay. Well, love that. So now we have the Six of Swords for your hopes and or fears. Okay. You definitely have some trust issues. And dare I say, I can't say that I really blame you. And I think that, again, you may want to revisit something from the past. That's fine. We all want to revisit something from the past sometimes, but you need to ask yourself once again, is this giving me what I want? Do I see this in my future? Does this thing value me? Do I actually value this thing? For some of you, maybe you're like a really crappy partner, okay? If it's on the other side of things, right? Maybe you're like a really crappy partner and you're really upset because you lost somebody, but you treated them like shit. It's like, well, time to wake up. Maybe somebody did that to you. And it's not even really about why they did it or whatever. It's about why you still want to go back to said person. Why you want somebody that treated you that way. That's the real question, okay? For some of you, if that's what it is. You guys are still stuck on some kind of emotional problem like we all are, right? And I think you really just want to be able to let that go and have some kind of freedom in your life. You want to be able to trust again. That's what I really think it is. I feel like you want some money too. So let's go ahead and take a look at that Knight of Cups. I just don't have a big enough table, guys. Tell me about that Knight of Cups. The Seven of Cups reversed. Ooh, okay. Oh, that King of you see that? That King of Pentacles wanted to come out again. Interesting. Maybe this person can turn into a partner, or maybe this is a partner you already have. Tell me about that Knight of Cups. Seven of Cups reverse. Give me one more for the end game here. The Seven of Wands. Wow. Three of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Well, you turn that Queen of Pentacles reversed in the upright, so I love that. So there's definitely something about your self-esteem and your confidence that was kind of biting at your ankles a little bit. And, you had a lot on your mind in regards to what you want and how what you were holding on to is stopping you from getting that, which could have been a mind frame, which could have been you being your own worst enemy at times. And so now I feel like something is quite abundant. It seems like you're maybe having some kind of collaborations in your life. There can be this energy of maybe people wanting to work with you, especially when it comes to business related stuff. I see love here. So if that's something that you're interested in, I mean, go for it. I feel like this is somebody who is likely going to choose you. They can be maybe a little bit younger than you. It depends. So you have to ask yourself if you're a page, a knight, or a king or a queen. So if you're like a king or a queen and this person is a knight, then they could be younger than you. If you consider yourself a page, then this person would maybe be a little bit older than you. Nonetheless, this is somebody who's very realistic, but at the same time, somebody who admires you. I feel like you guys will likely have a lot of suitors, maybe a lot of people who are competing for your attention, and I feel like it feels good. If it's not necessarily about love, then I would say this is probably you going after what you want creatively. Instead of sitting around and fantasizing about it and thinking about the woulda, shoulda, coulda, you're actually making moves. So this can be like acting, writing, poetry, art, any kind of like the arts, even dancing, really. And I feel like you guys are able to swing with the competition. It's not like I want you guys to be very careful of imposter syndrome this month, okay? Especially mid-month. You may have some level of imposter syndrome, but it's trying to tell you that you don't need to feel that way. Okay, you don't need to like pretend, you don't need to overcompensate. You need to remember who you are. You need to remember the Empress energy. You are creative, you are abundant, you are beautiful, point blank, period. So let's get you some oracle cards. Okay, real quick. We have magic opportunity, embrace the unexpected, seize the chance for transformation. So like I said, something needs to change. That's it. Something needs to change. And then we have desert of isolation, traverse the desolate spaces of solitude to uncover reflections and resilient survival. So maybe you guys need to disconnect from partnerships a little bit. Maybe you guys have been too influenced by what other people are saying. Maybe even the content creators that you watch. Don't shoot, right? But maybe it's time where you need to listen to your own voice instead of what everyone else is telling you that you should be doing. Or if you're doing this, comparison thing where you're comparing yourself to others or whatever it is, maybe telling you to stop that, because that internal dialogue or what people are saying or how other people are influencing you, or even if you're doing it silently to yourself where you're comparing like your body to other people or something like that, silent killer. Okay, silent killer. Don't do that anymore. Don't do that to yourself. Weed out the noise and listen to what your own voice is telling you. This also says choose wisely, decisions shape your path amid challenges. Stay open to learning as answers reveal your destined journey. So I told you there's going to be a decision that you're going to have to make here. And it's going to be to drop some loser, or it's, that's not very high vibe of me to say. It's just my way of talking, guys. Okay, you might have to drop some loser, or you may have to end something that is driving you crazy. There's something that is driving you crazy. It's got to go. It's not doing anything for you. Dead weight, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at www.violettaalexis.com. If you would like to book a scheduled session with me or text and or call spontaneously, you can do so at hipsy.com/violettaalexis. All of that information can be found in the description box below or in the pinned comment in the chat. Thanks a lot, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great mid-October.